Hey guys, this is Lauren Gambino and this is discussion post 5. I'll be discussing hypoxemia and negative feedback. So hypoxemia is oxygen deficiency in the blood. It may be a result of hemorrhaging, which is a significant loss of blood, but low oxygen levels in the blood can be caused by many other things like higher altitudes, medical conditions, some of which can't be corrected by increasing RBCs through negative feedback. But when you do lose blood, you lose red blood cells, and so your RBC count or your erythrocyte count will drop, and that's hypoxemia. In order for the body to maintain homeostasis, specifically erythrocyte homeostasis, it uses, in this case, it uses negative feedback. Remember from chapter 1, we learned about negative feedback. It's a process in which the body senses a change and activates mechanisms that negate or reverse it. So by maintaining stability, negative feedback is the key mechanism for maintaining health. So when the RBC count drops, for whatever reason, this creates low oxygen in the blood, which is hypoxemia. When the body detects this happening, well, the kidneys specifically sense this low blood oxygen level, and they start to increase EPO output. EPO is erythropoietin. It's a hormone secreted by the kidneys and also by the liver in unborn babies and newborns, but primarily by the kidneys in adults. So the kidneys then will secrete EPO, which stimulates red bone marrow. The red bone marrow is mainly found in flat bones. So in your textbook, you see that the diagram with drawings, as opposed to my written diagram, shows the hip bones. So that's where the red bone marrow is in adults, usually in the flat bones. So the EPO stimulates red bone marrow, which starts an accelerated erythropoiesis, which is RBC production, red blood cell production, or erythrocyte production. After a few days, 3 days or so, the RBC count begins to rise and reverses the hypoxemia. So accelerated erythropoiesis leads to increased red blood count. These are my little erythrocytes, my red blood cells. Normal RBC production takes about a week for mature RBCs. So this is a sped up process because obviously it's a urgent situation, the hypoxemia. So after a few days, 3 or 4 days, your RBC count will increase. And when there's more red blood cells, that means there's increase in oxygen transport in the blood, right? So red blood cells count increases, and therefore O2, or oxygen, is increased. And this is the correction of hypoxemia by a negative feedback loop. That's it. Thanks for listening.